Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special episode. Welcome back. We are live in person.
This is crazy.
This is the first time ever. It's tough. I'm back home in Minnesota, and my dog is trying to get in to where we are right now because of how special this is. My dog knows how special this podcast is. This is amazing. I texted Joseph. I'm in Minnesota. I'm back. But I don't have any of my equipment. So I said, Joseph, this would be a perfect time to do an in-person live podcast. And here we are.
We got the one mic.
Yeah, I mean, this will do though. So if it's bad quality, we're sorry, but we got the mic set up. We got the live set up.
It's in person. That's all we need.
I suggest watching this on YouTube. This is a live episode. You want to get on the YouTube, watch live. You don't want to listen to this. So if you're listening on Apple, listen on Spotify, hop on YouTube and watch us live. It's going to be a lot better.
Pick up the body language for once.
Exactly. So
no delay.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go hot or not. I'm going to have Joseph start us off with the hot. What do you got for us?
The AP Top 25 for college football dropped today.
I did see that.
I always love the AP Top 25 at the beginning of the season because basically if you're not in it, it's good. Because if you're not in it, the chances of you being in it at the end of the year are much higher. Let me show you this. All right, we got USC coming in at 14, Southern Cal, right?
Already.
I got Lincoln Riley,
Caleb Williams, yep.
But 14, they went 4-8 last year.
So this is the call. This is the way of NCAA saying, just because of Lincoln Riley, just because of Caleb Williams, a few other 5 stars. They're going to go from a 4-8 football team.
It's always about the
preseason. Top 15 team in college football. What do you think they're going to... Do you think they're legitimately a 14 seed in college football?
They could be. But to put them there already,
I think they got to earn it.
Already. You got to earn it. There's some other teams here. We got Clemson at 4. Now, Clemson's a great team.
Clemson's at 4?
4.
Who's 1, 2, and 3?
Your Alabama, your Ohio State, Georgia.
Okay, I could have
That makes sense.
I could have guessed that.
Michigan's at 8 behind Utah.
Oh, I knew he was going to bring up where Michigan was in the top 25.
I'm just saying, they're hot. They're hot this week.
You want to hear I got a hot take for you when college football starts. I got Michigan State beating Michigan again this year.
It doesn't matter because we'll beat Ohio State again.
Well, we'll see, folks. But I still got Michigan State winning, even without Kenneth Walker this year. I still got him winning. I'm going to go right into my hot. Will Zalatoris, okay, won the St. Who? All right. Joseph. He's on the PGA Tour. He just won the St. Jude Championship. Adam Sandler congratulated him. I saw LeBron congratulated him. It's been a long time coming for this guy. He hasn't been getting wins. It's a good win for him. His putting's been hurting him. This is a big week for Will Zalatoris. I'm going to put him as my hot. Not talked about enough. I think he's
I don't know about it.
He's about $120 soaking wet. Okay. So he's a real skinny guy. Not usual because then you want to put some muscle on or something.
On if you're driving it far.
So the thing is with him, he doesn't hit the ball far. What makes Will so good is that he's
got the finesse.
He's accurate. He's got the finesse. He's got the smooth touch. I love Will Zalatoris, and I think he deserves to be my hot this week. And I'm going to keep him as my hot because he got himself so many FedEx points that I'm pretty sure he jumped 20 spots in the FedEx ranking. So good for Will. And I'm going to go right into my not. So I'm sure you saw. I'm sure the whole world saw. Fernando Tatís.
Okay, yeah, we have the same not here.
Has been suspended 80 games, but that's not what it is.
Okay.
It's not just a suspension though, because let's be real. It's about every year we get 2 baseball players who get banned for steroids. It has to be a good player. It has to be a nobody. But that good player gets all just the hatred, you're the loser, you're the one that does the drugs, whatever. Look, they all do drugs. Okay, they're all doing PEDs. They're all doing steroids. Tatís just the one that got caught. So here's what I'm upset about though. As I just read you in a report right before this, he used a steroid spray that came from because he had a fungus from a haircut that he received. So let me ask you something, Joseph. Imagine this, right? You're getting paid $30 million a year, right, to play baseball, right? In sunny San Diego, in front of a great crowd, one of the best teams in baseball. But you have to tell your team that you're suspended at least half the season because of a haircut. What do you think should be the reaction of not only the MLB fans, but the Padres organization for something like this?
So you believe the story?
This came off Bleacher Report.
Okay. Because I feel like every time someone gets in trouble with steroids, it's like, oh, I had, a cracker and it had steroids in it. Like, do you
remember John Jones?
Yeah.
Like that. He took a dick pill, it's like a Viagra, and it accidentally had estrogen blocker in it. It's funny we're talking about this. I literally listened to that Joe Rogan with John Jones today, and they were talking about it, and he tried to take like a Viagra Cialis he said, I just wanted to make my dick bigger. Apparently, not listed in the ingredients was an estrogen blocker.
So this is a no-go.
So we're going from dick pills to haircuts. I mean, what was Barry Bonds' excuse?
I don't think Barry Bonds had an excuse. I think he just went out.
You think he just?
Yeah, I'm better than you.
All right. You got me. You caught me. I don't know what to tell you.
Fernando, he had the wrist thing with the bike accident, and now it's like he's got this. And it's like, dude, the Padres are a good team. They just went out and got a megastar. And Tatís has got to be the face of baseball. This is bad for the MLB.
Let's also remember they have Manny Machado too.
Yep.
They have a loaded roster. They're not doing
exciting.
Bad. Yeah, exactly.
Tatís gets people to tune in, and now he's not going to be there.
A young star. They paid him a nice long contract, $300 million over 10 years. They want him to stay, and you're making dumb. I get he's young. I think he's only 25 years old. I get you're young and you make mistakes. You have shitloads of money. You don't. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've done this before. You just got back from your wrist injury. Now you're taking steroids. I understand you're all taking it, but you just can't get caught. Look, it's like that Bill Burr sort of bit that he does. It's like when they used to do bike racing. Remember bike racing? It's like you gotta look at the countries. It's like our cheater is just better than your cheater. So it's the same thing with baseball. It's like if you're gonna use steroids. If you're using steroids and you're not being better than the people who are using steroids, you're not a very good cheater. And you're not a very good steroid user.
Who's the next guy that gets caught, you think? You got to throw it out there?
Next guy to get caught. Baseball?
Any sport.
I was going to say Mike Trout, but I don't think Mike Trout would ever get caught doing something like that.
They wouldn't let him get caught. Mike Trout if he's on roids, he's got a whole team that's checking his piss.
So you don't think the MLB would even get mad if Mike?
I don't think the MLB would ever find out because Mike Trout's. If he was on roids, he would be so secretive about it. He's so secretive about everything. Mike Trout. You know how Tua got married and you didn't want to know? Mike Trout could marry 15 women before.
You know what? Find out. That's my knot. I'm adding a knot. Is Tua not wanting people to know his wedding, and then oh my god damn it, and then at that press conference when they talked about it, he was saying it's unbelievable how people care that much. Dude, you got married.
Yeah.
Why is that such a secret?
I don't know.
Why does that? He's why we have to keep it? I should be able to keep my personal life.
Is it
personal?
easier to hide a marriage or PEDs? Because apparently it's not very easy to hide PEDs.
Dude, that might be the question. That is a good. I think it's got to be harder to hide a marriage it'd be PEDs because a marriage is a one-night deal. If you really wanted to, you could do it. You could invite 100 of your closest friends, tell them to not say a word, don't post anything, just come, we're going to take pictures, we're going to have a nice dinner ceremony done. You could get away with that. And you almost did until someone found out, but drugs, you kind of got to continue to do that. You don't just take one strand. You don't just jack yourself.
It's not a one-night experience.
No. This is Tatís has been doing. I mean,
he's been doing bad haircuts that have fungus.
I don't know
how are you pro athlete getting fungus in your haircut?
Yeah, how many haircuts do you think Tatís has gotten since he's been in the MLB? I'd say he's gotten at least 50 haircuts since this MLB started, and at least 15 of them have had fungus in them. So that's just my thing. I get the steroid talk. I know everyone has heard this talk. We just wanted to get into it a little bit. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have a big week to week in the sense that we are moving to the AFC North for our predictions. And
speaking of people who are on steroids, Lamar Jackson is on steroids. You can't prove me wrong.
You think he's on steroids?
Oh, he's huge. He's
big. Like this year he got big?
Yeah. You've seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Harbaugh said that he's gotten big. He's getting Harbaugh said, I think, 25 pounds of muscle in one offseason. And I said, that man on roids.
Quarterback?
He said it didn't slow him down. We'll see.
He said 25 pounds.
I'll look it up.
25 pounds of muscle. Okay, here's my thing about that. Whatever roids he's taken, Tatís needs to take because 25 pounds of muscle. And knowing Lamar Jackson, what he's doing with his outdoor activities and what he's doing outside of football.
15. But still.
That's still a lot.
Since, what, February? Because he wasn't. He
wasn't
bulking in season.
Yeah, and he wasn't even playing the playoffs. So
there you go.
But I would say, damn, 15 pounds of muscle
in like 6 months. I mean, I guess if you're big.
I mean, then again, though, these are pro athletes. If you're getting
true.
paid millions of dollars, can you at least put some of those millions into your body? Yeah. I mean, I guess
personal
that does
trainers and chefs and
So he says it doesn't slow him down.
That's what Harbaugh says.
I find that hard. You put on 15 pounds of muscle and you didn't lose 1 mile per hour.
That's what I'm saying. If he got a little caked up, if you have a big butt, it's harder to run fast.
It's also hard to tackle. You've seen Big Ben. It's hard to tackle these QBs when they're big bodies.
But Big Ben doesn't exactly move fast.
Yeah, no kidding. We don't
have to worry about him this year, but we do have to worry about Mitch Trubisky and your guy Kenny Pickett. So let's get into AFC North predictions here. Okay, who do you have in at the bottom?
I got the grittiest team in football, the Pittsburgh Steelers, at my bottom 4. I think that went without saying. Here's the thing. Can I say this? It's not because the Steelers are a terrible team. It's because the AFC North is so good. I truly believe that. I truly believe this is easily one of the best divisions of football. With the Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, and that probably one of the best young wide receiver trios in all of football. And their defense has gotten better. Their O-line has gotten better. They've only gotten better. This is a Super Bowl team. And they've only gotten better. You got the Ravens, which before we go any further, who we got at 3? Who you putting at your 3 above the Steelers?
I am putting you're not gonna like this. I'm putting the Browns at 3.
You're right. I'm not. So that's where we beg to differ.
What's the Steelers' record? So we can have a base here.
I got the Steelers going 4-13.
4-13.
Oh
my God.
4-13.
So you meant it when you said bottom. Like you're talking about bottom.
They might be bottom of the NFL. I don't know. I really think this team's gonna suck.
Not Oliver kissing titties, Mitch.
It's not gonna be Mitch.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna be Mitch. It's not gonna be Mitch.
So you don't think Mitch is the promised land?
No. I think Mitch will start. I think Mitch will start game 1 for sure. The question is, will he start every other game? And more importantly, do you want to start him every other game?
Probably not. I can see Pickett coming in there.
If you're the Steelers GM, you just drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round. Do you think it's better for him to stay behind Mitchell Trubisky for a year or 2, and maybe develop sort of like an A-Rod did, sort of like a Brett Favre did, where they came in and they didn't play the first couple of years and they just learned, and then they were ready when they come in? Do you think that'd be better for Kenny, or do you think it'd be better for them to say, all right, we just drafted a quarterback in the first round. Because they want him to be the franchise.
If it was any other guy, I'd say sit, but Kenny Pickett's the most pro-ready out of all those guys. That's why.
Whoa! It's more than Matt Corral, Malik Willis, and possibly Desmond Ridder.
That's the only reason that he went in the first round, and I will go. He is not. He is like his ceiling. I'd say is like Matt Ryan. I'd say Kenny Pickett's ceiling is Matt Ryan, right?
Like an MVP.
No, like a Matt Ryan all the years besides the MVP. Maybe one great year.
So you don't think he's going to get an MVP?
So he's like a quarterback that's great but never elite. I don't think Matt Ryan's ever been elite, except for that
MVP season.
Except for the MVP season.
Okay,
that I've never thrown Matt Ryan up there with like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Like he's in the tier 2 of quarterbacks, in my opinion.
You know who he reminds me of? Andrew Luck. But if Andrew Luck would have played, because Andrew Luck was never an MVP caliber player, but we knew he was a stud. You know what I'm saying?
He was an MVP caliber. It's just like he needed to not retire.
Why did he retire again?
Because he got injured too much and didn't like his offensive line. I don't know. That's so long ago. I don't know. I like Kenny Pickett. I think his ceiling is like a tier 2 quarterback. I could say his ceiling is like Matt Ryan might not be the best, but like one of those guys where it's like he's not elite, but he's amazing. However, he doesn't have like Malik Willis has the potential. If Malik Willis is his full potential, he could be a top quarterback in the league. But Kenny Pickett was more pro-ready, better for the Steelers system, less risky, I'd say, and that's why he went in the first round. So I would not be surprised if Kenny Pickett starts at least half the year, unless Mitch Trubisky pulls it off, which very well could be. I have the Steelers 7-10. So I'm a believer. I just think Mike Tomlin hasn't been under 500 in forever. To go all the way down to 4-13? Dang, that's a tough sell. Steelers fans are not going to like you for that.
I know, but it's just, and I love Mike Tomlin to death. He's actually easily one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And we've all seen how good he is through the years. But they don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback anymore. They don't have an all-pro quarterback that they did in Big Ben anymore. They don't have their franchise QB that they know to work with. This is an all-new team member. They're not rebuilding, but they're not the same team. Now, Steelers defense, TJ Watt, they have players.
Yeah, the defense is fine. The offensive line is brutal. So this is why I say they're mediocre. Mitch Trubisky has had a good defense and a bad offensive line before with the Bears.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Now, they did make the playoffs, but you're not going 9-8 or 8-9 making the playoffs in the AFC this year.
No, absolutely.
So I think they'll be around the middle of the pack team. I'm not going to go 4-13, but I could see it if Mitch is terrible.
I'm going to ask you a question here that...
No Juju anymore.
That is true, but they got...
So they don't have that swag.
But they got Chase Claypool top 3 member. He's a top 3 receiver in the NFL, he says.
Well... Every receiver says that. Every receiver says, no, this guy's number 1, but I'm number 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're like...
Well, actually, I think every receiver will consensusly say Devontae's 1,
yeah.
And then everything from there is just whatever they want. Yeah. They can throw... Jamar Chase had Keenan Allen as his 3rd best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, that's just bogus.
I don't know.
That's bogus.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I think Keenan Allen is great. He's a good receiver, but, top 3 in the NFL. So, I mean, there's that. I was going to ask, do you think pro sports has gotten too hard to be good? Look back at the times where there used to just be so many bad teams, and then there were only a few good teams that battled. Now it's look at the NBA, look at the NFL. Everyone's so good. It's you have to have an unreal team to make it far, and your team has to have great longevity through the season. Not have any. You have to basically have a perfect season in a sense. No injuries. Everyone stays healthy. You get the right rosters. Everyone buys in. How hard? Do you think that the level of NFL and NBA play has just skyrocketed throughout the years?
Well, I think with the NFL, it's the quarterback play because they start
so true.
Because I was thinking about this, going back a couple years, the Browns quarterbacks, how bad they were. They weren't the only team that had a guy that was in there for 1 year. Now the worst quarterbacks in the NFL are Sam Darnold, who was an elite prospect.
That's true.
He's gonna be a bust, but not to the level of some of these terrible, terrible quarterbacks. Even the worst teams in the NFL, you can see it if they have the right guy.
Look at there's no more Jamarcus Russells anymore. There's no one getting drafted first overall.
Even Daniel Jones, who
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, right.
These guys are these are still playing Jamarcus Russell. What the heck? That was definitely the biggest bust ever.
Daniel Jones, what, year 4 now?
He's still starting.
Still starting. Hasn't won more than 5-6 games in his entire career, but he's still. It's he could be good.
Exactly.
You could see it.
I wonder if these coaches just get too caught up in potential. They're he could maybe be good, but I have this guy who's good right now. I guess that's sort of in a sense that's what you have to ask. When these quarterbacks get old, Tom Brady. It's yeah, we could have a Tom Brady who's 42 years old, or we could have that young prospect right now. But obviously, you're gonna take the Tom Brady because he's good right now. So, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's I just think the play and the highlights, everything, and it's just skyrocketing. You talk about NFL. If you look at the NBA, look at the Western Conference, bro. You literally look at the Timberwolves team. Look at that roster: Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, DeAndre Russell, Rudy Gobert. They'll be a 7th seed this year.
We can get into that once February rolls around.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure you remind me. I'm keeping that take.
All right. Okay, Steelers 4th. Who's your 3rd? Mine's the Browns.
I got the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
As my 3rd.
What record are you thinking here?
I got 10-7.
10-7. Okay. I have the Browns as 9-8. Tell me why you think the Ravens are 10-7.
So, I look at this team, okay, and I think we should look back to the past years, right? Mm-hmm. Look at Lamar's unanimous MVP season, right? That team is literally, in a sense, a picture-perfect frame of this team this year. There's no injuries so far. They're getting back their running back. Oh my God, I forgot his name. I just had the running back that was injured all last year. He got drafted. He's coming in this year. Oh, the running back. What is his name? Something.
Whenever you put me on the spot.
I know. I put myself on the spot, please. But anyway, he's coming back.
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins. He's coming back. That whole roster's coming back. They did lose Rashad. They lost Hollywood Brown, the number 1 receiver, which sucks. But
does it? I don't think I'm the biggest Hollywood Brown hater.
Well, then you would like to see that.
I think the fact they got a first-round pick for Hollywood Brown is huge.
You think that's a
bad
sell for Arizona?
Horrible sell for Arizona.
Like horrible.
Horrible.
Because
I'm not a
Hollywood Brown did just get criminal charges pressed against him.
I have seen he's criminally bad at driving balls. So
but him and Kyler did play together.
That's fine. Whatever. The Cardinals, they can have their thing. But
I forgot you don't like the Cardinals this year. You're not high on the Cardinals.
No, I'm not high on the Cardinals. I think Lamar. It doesn't matter who's Lamar's receivers will be. I think they'll be fine. I think Lamar made a lot of plays for Hollywood Brown. I think he made him look pretty good. I'm not saying Hollywood Brown's bad, but he is no means an elite wide receiver.
Not a first-round pick worthy at all.
Same haul for A.J. Brown. I would put A.J. Brown so much higher than Hollywood Brown. It's not even close.
What if the Chargers traded right now for Hollywood Brown and they gave away a first-round pick?
I would be pissed.
Like, you'd be mad.
I would be mad.
That would be.
Would you give up a first-round pick for Mike Williams? No. They're in the same stratosphere.
I think Mike Williams is better than.
Oh, I do too. But you wouldn't give up a first-round pick for Mike Williams.
No. You know what? That's a good point. That is a good point. I wouldn't give up.
So I don't think that's the Ravens' problem. I think they just don't have any weapons outside of Mark Andrews, really. Like, we'll see what Rashad Bateman can do. But it's just the Lamar show. So hopefully he doesn't get injured, and hopefully he's not.
Yeah, hopefully that's
too thick to run.
We'll see. 15. Well, I think we'll notice.
See.
We'll notice if he's got 15 pounds more muscle. I'll notice. I've seen him run around.
But I will say I love their draft. So their
great draft
was incredible, picking up Kyle Hamilton.
So you got the Browns at 9-8.
I got the Browns at 9-8 at third. I actually went back and forth. I originally had them at 12-5. And I could see 12-5 if Deshaun only gets suspended 6 games. But then I was looking at the schedule. Some tough games in there. The AFC North likes to eat up on each other. And I was thinking, if they go 3-3 while Deshaun's gone, they have to play the Chargers, the Patriots, and let me look it up here. I know they have to play the Chargers and the Patriots while Deshaun's gone. They get the Panthers. They're going to lose.
They play the Bills. I know they play the Bills once.
They get the Steelers, the Chargers, and the Patriots while Deshaun's gone. I could see them going 4-2 max while Deshaun's gone. They get the Panthers, the Jets, the Steelers, Falcons, Chargers, Patriots. Let's say they go 4-2, right? Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Buccaneers. Then you get the Texans. Then Bengals again, Ravens, Saints, Commanders, Steelers. So there's like a good. I give them losses to 1 loss to the Ravens, 1 loss to the Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Buccaneers. That's already 5. And if they lose 2, that's 7 losses. I could see 9-8. Now I know you disagree because you're going all in on them boys. We'll get to that in a second. I have the Browns 9-8. I also have the Ravens 10-7 though, but I have them at second. So we're on the same page there with the Ravens. I think they're going to be a wild card.
I have the Bengals at second. I got the Bengals at second in the division.
Right.
I got them. I actually have them going 12-5. We talked about it beforehand. This Bengals team is the exact. It's like this is a Super Bowl team from last year.
Added to their offensive line.
Added to their offensive line. Only got it better. Joe Burrow's back. I have my opinions about Joe Burrow. I'd rather have Kenny Pickett than Joe Burrow.
Dive into that real quick because this man said this pre-recording. He said what?
I said I would rather have, if you gave me a decision, you have to choose your franchise quarterback right now, Joe Burrow or Kenny Pickett. I'm picking Kenny Pickett 10 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10 times. And now people are going to say...
Now, I don't know if it's just this nice Porsche that we got here, but something's in the air because that's just a load of crap.
So people are saying, well, don't you understand that Joe Burrow's only had 2 full seasons and he's won a national championship and went to the Super Bowl? I understand. He hurt himself his rookie year, didn't play. So it's technically only 2 full seasons of football where he was a starting quarterback. He won a national championship and went to the Super Bowl. Now, people are saying you're really going to take Kenny Pickett over Joe Burrow. Let me ask you something, Joseph, and you answer honestly with me.
This guy.
If Joe Burrow and Kenny Pickett were to go out and throw footballs, and they were and you need a quarterback, say, hey, I need you to lead this team. I need you to be a skillful quarterback, run my West Coast offense, hit my receivers, run when you need to, lead me to like whatever I need to.
Lead me to a Super Bowl.
I didn't want to say that. But are you really do you genuinely
No, yeah, totally. If I had to choose someone to lead me to the Super Bowl, I'd pick Kenny Pickett over Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow he can't do it.
The wording was bad there. The wording was bad there. But hear me out here. I genuinely believe that if Kenny Pickett and Joe Burrow were in front of us, and I didn't tell Joseph who was Joe Burrow and Kenny Pickett, he would pick Kenny Pickett. But
Kenny Pickett's got the flow, so I'm obviously...
He's got the flow.
He's got the Justin Herbert, little quiet, little flow, swaggy. I can see it.
Never mind. I cannot wait until we do the Chargers and the Broncos division. That is going to be the best week when the Chargers and Broncos and when we have to do our own standings. Because I have the Chargers going dead fucking last.
Oh my gosh.
And to be honest, so do all the NFL insiders. You can look it up. All the NFL insiders have the Raiders and Chargers going dead last in the division.
Whatever.
So we're not talking about them now. And my number one team in this division is the Cleveland Browns. And you're not going to like this record. And neither are the people. 15-2. I got them going. But
this man is on some...
And this is without... And by the way, this is 15-2. And this is me saying this, knowing Deshaun Watson won't play a game this season. This is with Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett in at quarterback. You got Nick Chubb in the backfield. Kareem Hunt is asking for a trade. We'll see if he leaves. If he's got both the duos and that defense. Now, I understand. If we look at the Browns in the past, as a football organization.
How funny would that be if Jacoby Brissett brought the Browns to their best record in franchise history? After they got off.
I'll do you one better. I was looking at the laws, and apparently, let's say the NFL actually does suspend Deshaun Watson for a whole season. Did you know that he can play in the playoffs? Did you know? I read a thing. They can suspend him because it's a 6-game suspension, right, for the regular season. The NFL can appeal and suspend him for the regular season, but he can play in the playoffs.
That would be so funny.
Could you imagine if Jacoby Brissett brought him to 15-2? Deshaun Watson
picked it up,
rolls in the first round of the playoffs. They win the Super Bowl guaranteed. If Deshaun Watson rolls in the playoffs,
maybe some pregame massages and stuff.
So I actually read some today. Deshaun Watson has already asked for a massage after each practice. Doesn't he think?
Oh my god!
That he should probably stay away.
Stay away from massage.
Any sort of anything like that for a while now. A while.
Or maybe just have Myles Garrett massage him.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine trying to tell Myles Garrett to give you a happy ending? Could you imagine? Miles Garrett is looking at you, standing up there, just like, or what? Or what? What are you gonna do? Beat my ass? No. Well, who do you have your number one? Who do you have?
I have the Bengals number one. Let me make sure I've got 12-5 here. 11-6. I'm actually not that high on the Bengals. I think there's gonna be a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. Bit.
You said they got better.
They've got better, but there's always a Super Bowl hangover.
So you think the Rams are maybe going to have a real big Super Bowl hangover because they won it? Because the Rams technically got worse, lost OBJ, got rid of Von Miller. But
I think it's more of the team that loses it because you got so close and you didn't get there.
But then again, though, they also added Allen Robinson. They got Khalil Mack.
Yeah. I think the Bengals.
I said Khalil Mack. Oh my god, that is so bad.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
The Bengals. Okay. I know, and some of my buddies love to slander me for this because they just love to tell me how much better Joe Burrow is than Justin Herbert.
But wait! Before you say anything, you don't actually think Justin Herbert's better than Herbert?
Whatever.
Do you actually?
I cannot wait until I cannot wait till Justin Herbert wins MVP this year. But I digress.
That is way more absurd than any take I've given on this podcast so far. Justin Herbert is better than Joe Burrow?
More absurd than Kenny Pickett is better than Joe Burrow?
Wait. But
this guy!
Wait. Justin Herbert is better than Joe Burrow. Justin Herbert. The guy in the Chargers.
Joe Burrow never won a Rose Bowl.
Okay, here. Well, yeah, he was too busy winning a national championship.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, whatever.
He never won the Senior Bowl MVP. I'm just saying.
Oh, this fucking clown dude. Anyway, you continue because I don't even.
I think I have been on record saying I think the Bengals got very, very lucky last year. They were a great team, but they got lucky. You cannot say that they did not get lucky. That was not a Super Bowl caliber roster, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
I think they just. First of all, Zach Taylor's not a great coach. I think Joe Burrow just willed them into the playoffs. Evan McPherson just...
You put it all... So you're putting it all on Joe Burrow.
Not all on Joe Burrow, but I think it was like the underdog mentality really worked. This year, they're not getting that. They're not getting the underdog mentality, no matter what they try this year, because I believe they're the division favorites.
They are.
So they're not getting that underdog. Oh, we're the scrappy wild card that's going to make it to the Super Bowl. They beat the Titans in the playoffs. They beat the Raiders, who shouldn't have been there in the playoffs. They beat the Titans, the worst number 1 seed ever. They beat the Chiefs, but the Chiefs, fraudulent. That was a good win. But I think there will be. I still have them winning the division. So you don't even have them winning the division. So you can't really talk here. I think there will be a little bit. I don't think they're going to be an elite team this year. But I think they will be like a 3 or 4 seed. They're going to win the division and contend for a Super Bowl. I don't think they'll get back. But we'll get into that when we get into our playoff predictions.
Ladies and gentlemen, first off, can I say I love live podcasts way more than computer. Computer is it's so bad. This is way better. Now we're not
no delay.
No delay. It's no lag. This is way better. This was a way better conversation. How far are we in here? I can't really see. 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes, folks, of a live podcast. That's really all we have for you guys today. One thing I want to address though. People have been asking me what happened to the top threes. So here's the thing. We kind of substituted the standings, like the AFC North, all that stuff, like anything of the divisions. We kind of substituted those with the top 3. We figured we couldn't really have too much. It's just too much.
We're getting into a point where it's NFL season here, and we're gonna need to have like so much to talk about the NFL. We might be able to throw it in there on a. We're gonna talk about this. But we might be doing 2 episodes a week. We'll see.
We might just have to because
there's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about and think. We don't want to do an hour-long podcast.
No.
We want to keep it 20 to 30. This would be like too long for us.
Yeah.
This is it's a live episode. It's a special. We get it, but we want to keep it short for you guys. We want you guys to be quick and listen. We don't want you guys to sit and
on a drive.
Whatever. Quick drive.
Morning drive.
We don't want this to be like a podcast. You have to sit and pause it and do whatever. We just want to sit down 30 minutes, listen to it. It's just not possible for me and Joseph to be able to get all, especially come NFL. There's going to be a point where there's going to be NFL, MLB, and possibly NBA all on at once. And if you expect us to drop all content and a top 3 and do all this, it's tough.
But we don't want to make hour and a half.
We could, and it's not as good a content. The pods won't be as good because we're going to be rushing to try and get as much in. We want to be able to actually have conversation. So I just wanted to address that. We will try and get the top 3s in because I think that is a lot of people like the top 3s. A lot of people like talking about top 3s. We will see what we can do, but at the end of the day, that's just what it is. We got to be truthful, you guys.
And then this guy gets to say that Kenny Pickett's a better quarterback than Justin Herbert, apparently. Because that's the line of reasoning there.
Would you put Justin Herbert in the top 15 quarterbacks in the NFL?
If you don't, I need you to.
I can name 15 quarterbacks right now. Off the top of my head, I can name 15 quarterbacks right now off the top of my head better than Justin Herbert.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe.
I actually bet I could.
Justin Herbert will be a top 5 quarterback after the season. I guarantee it. I guarantee
the amount of clips that are on this podcast is insane. The amount of takes and the amount of clips is.
You're saying you'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Justin Herbert? Kirk Cousins is a top 15 quarterback?
Maybe not Kirk. I don't think I'd put Kirk over here.
This guy. All right.
Would you put Kirk over?
No.
Okay, all right. Good.
I wouldn't put. No, God, no.
I might be dropping a top 15 list tonight of better quarterbacks than Justin Herbert. That's regardless.
Please do.
But first live episode feels great.
Maybe the first live episode for a while.
Yeah, it is. He's going to Nebraska tomorrow. I'm going to Florida this week. That doesn't work too well for live episodes. So, we were glad we were able to get one in, though. That feels good. We're going to drop it for you guys here in the next couple days. So, you guys have already seen it. We recorded this on Monday night. So, we appreciate you all for listening. Please watch us on the YouTube. We highly, highly encourage it. If you can't, we understand. But we highly suggest you watch on the YouTube. It's much better, even though you already watched this episode. But anyway... Thank you guys. Have a great week. And Joseph, send us off.
Peace.